guys, welcome to another Juicy Bits. And Jeremy, I have a question for you.
What do you got, Kate?
Are you a dreamer or a hustler?
Well, today I feel like I can call myself a hustler, but I'll tell you that's relatively new. I know in my 20s I was nothing but a dreamer. You know, I've been running this company since I was about 21, and I've never had a lack of confidence in my goals. You know, some of those people out there talk about fear holding them back and not setting big enough goals. Well, that was never me. I was always setting great goals.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to be a millionaire, and I was going to have my house on the beach, and you know everything that everybody says, right?
All on your dream board.
Yeah, I knew exactly what the paint number was going to Pantone color on my Dreamline 7 jet, whatever it was, you know. But the problem was I had no plan. These were just things I was saying, and it was easy to go around and say these things, but I had no idea how I was going to get there. And to me, that's what we were joking about before. There's this difference between a dreamer and a hustler. We see it every day. Entrepreneurs are out there. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself in this and to work hard. And so I don't want to undermine, you know, that mindset. But if you've done this for a while and you've been around enough people that are very successful, there's very few stories where people say, the whole thing just kind of took off on me. You know what I mean? I know people love to celebrate that. Like, it just took off. I never saw it coming, you know?
Yeah, right?
It's never the way it is.
The overnight success.
Exactly.
The 10-year overnight success.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, too many of those stories make people just say, hey, you just got to get in the game and just got to put your dreams out there and make your vision board and it's all going to come true, you know? But I think that the vision board, the goals, you know, are just concrete reminders every day when you wake up of what you're working for.
Yeah.
You got to wake up every day and work for it.
Yeah, and have a plan, and we were talking about that. It's funny you just said that because I was meeting with someone and they said, you know, I'm just really working and, you know, I feel like I'm just waiting for my break. I'm just waiting for that phone call. And I'm thinking, really? Like, that's your plan, waiting for the phone call? And talking through, you know, what he really wanted to see. And of course, like a lot of people, he was saying, I'm going to be a millionaire by XYZ age. And I said, really? What's your plan? And I only said that because I was actually having lunch with my millionaire friend the other day, and he said, you know, when people say that, I say, what's your plan? Nobody has a plan. Mm-hmm. They don't know how they're going to reach that goal. They don't know what they're doing. And having that...
At least he had a plan that he was waiting for the break, right?
That's the plan. People, right? I'm just going to keep doing this, and, you know, I'm going to get that phone call. No, like, it doesn't work out that way. But when you're hustling and you're working and you have your plan and you're working on those things every day, that's when the phone call happens. The maybe unexpected one that happens, but that's not what you're banking on.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't go from like zero to the phone call. I mean, you probably did a million things in the middle to make that happen, right?
Yeah. And it's so fun to listen to these entrepreneurs' stories because it really does, you really do learn about their struggles, like all of the times where they were, you know, on the floor eating ramen noodles, just trying to make it work. But we don't see that. Like a Mark Cuban with, you know, his book and his story is so fascinating. But, you know, you just see this amazing guy.
Exactly. So we were talking about it. You had real plans. We were going back and forth. You said, well, I know what I want to be doing here. And like, right? Like, tell me what you mean by that. What's a plan look like to you?
So... And we actually worked together on this because Jeremy's been such a great support to me over the years, and I've learned a lot from him, especially when I say, Jeremy, I want to have a business. I want to build my business, and I want to do marketing, and what does that really look like? And so really focusing on, okay, what does that look like? What do you want to earn in the next year? And then breaking it down month to month, like, okay, what does that look like? How many clients do you need to get? What are the other pieces of your business that you want to see grow? And then putting the plan in place as far as like, okay, I need to make X amount of calls, or I need to speak X amount of places to get X amount of sales presentations to close that business.
Yeah.
And when Jeremy and I actually worked together more closely, and I was doing sales more on the sales side with Juicy, we put together like a whole structured plan. So every week I knew how many calls I needed to make, how many times I was following up with our current clients, presentations that I was giving every week, and it was on an Excel spreadsheet, and every week I had to make sure they were all checked off.
And in our CRM, we actually had a progress bar. So if it was Wednesday, you knew that you were supposed to be about halfway through, and you had a visual reminder that you were only a quarter of the way through, or you're...
It was red if you weren't. It was red. Right?
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
It's really powerful, because that's what the dreamers are missing, right? Not only are they not taking the action, but they've got no way to assess progress, right? And so you had these weekly things which were amazing, and you committed to them, and you were excited about them, and you always knew when you were on track, and you always knew when you needed to work extra hard, you needed to put the pedal to the metal to catch up, and when you could, you know, back off the pedal a little bit because, you know, you were hitting it, and it was time to kind of recharge, which is also important, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the other piece was there's so much we can do every day. you know, that we're all busy.
Mhm.
We're all super, super busy, but busy and is much different than productive.
Yeah.
So when you know that you've taken care of all the activities that you know is going to really drive you forward, you can then, when you said like take a step back, you can then work on some of those other things that maybe aren't going to directly bring in revenue, but maybe like working on content or things that you really want to do, or other projects that you haven't really figured out how to monetize them. So it makes it so much less stressful because you know what to focus your time and attention on.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I heard you say when you sat down is that you were beginning with the end in mind, which is something I like to talk about all the time.
Yes.
From Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I think that's just such an important principle in everything. First, begin with the end in mind and get really crystal clear. Saying you're going to be a millionaire, saying you're going to, retire, these things don't have dates. They don't have hard edges, right? And so you need a third-party objective person to be able to tell you when you reach your goal for it to be a goal, right? It's not lose weight. It's I want to lose 17 pounds by November 7th, right? Someone else could look from afar and say either she did it or she didn't, right?
Right.
So you had that, and then you worked your way back, right? You had milestones, little milestones along the way. We did this, I was at a workshop about a month ago, and it was fantastic, and the speaker said, okay, everybody write down, your revenue goals for where you want to be a year from today. And then I want you to take the 4 quarters and work your way backwards. Where do you need to be at the 3rd quarter if you're on track? Where do you need to be the 2nd quarter to be on track, right? Where do you need to be at the end of the 1st quarter? So you were kind of staircasing right down. I said, great. Now I want you to go in and say, where do you need to be every single month, right? And so by the time we left there, we knew a couple of things. We either knew if our goals were unrealistic, which there was a lot of talk about that, or we knew what to do, know? And we know when we get, the more regular you're checking in on your progress, the quicker you know if you're off track or not.
Yes.
That's the problem.
So true. And I know when you start something new, I mean, when I first started my business fully on my own, I had, it was quarterly. I said, I really need to be here quarterly, and then I'll kind of assess and then see if I'm going to move forward and in what direction. So, and it was very easy because numbers don't lie.
Absolutely.
You're either bringing in XYZ revenue, or you're not. And you need to figure those things out.
So my challenge to you is if you're walking around with big audacious goals, congratulations. You're better than most, trust me. And I don't want to discourage that, but I want you to really check yourself and say, how do I define these goals? Do these things have hard edges? Or are they big puffy white clouds in the sky, right? That I'm just talking about. And once you have those hard edges, where do you need to be? What do you need to do tomorrow? What do you need to do on Tuesday of next week to accomplish these goals? And if the answer is that you just got to wait one more day for the phone ring to be the right call, then you're going to be waiting for a long time.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Any other advice?
No, I think that sums it up.
All right.
In a nutshell, there's your juicy bits.
I want to convince you guys to convince you guys to convert yourselves from dreamers to hustlers. Think about how to be, put your one foot in front of the other, take some action, and make sure that you have a plan that you're actually walking in the right direction and you're not, heading east chasing a sunset.
Absolutely.